I want to give you 5 things, five movements that you should be working on with the upcoming Open. For anybody who's done the Open for many years like I have, there's a couple key elements that I feel always happen in every Open that you must be efficient at to not get completely crushed in every Open workout. Okay? On the first one, kind of what we're working on right now, is overhead positioning. Right? Being able to stabilize the bar overhead without burning energy, being able to stay relaxed, not feeling all wobbly. Okay, both up here and obviously at the bottom of the squat. Okay, being able to manage your overhead position, you should be working on that constantly. Okay, leading up to the Open for like the next month. Working on your overhead position, being very stable, making sure you stabilize your lat, making sure your feet are well grounded. Okay, and you're really engaging the lat muscle to support the shoulder. If you're not engaging your lats to support the shoulder, right? If you're not engaging to support the shoulder and the shoulder punishment, if there's anything to follow that movement, right? If there's burpees, some type of push-up, anything else that leads in the shoulder, you're just fatiguing every muscle that goes along with it. So again, overhead position, master it, find your comfortable zone, and go to work. So again, just point of reference, again, notice the punch out through the bar, very stable in the overhead position. Again, make sure we're holding the weight comfortably in our hands too. As you can see, there's no real movement in the hands. Shoulders are stable, she's able to focus on getting to the bottom of the squat, standing right up. Make sure we're squeezing at the top. The last thing we want to do is be no repped, especially in high repped workouts. Everything looks nice and stable, making sure we're breathing, okay? Breathing is important. Nice and stable, okay? Focusing on it, finding yourself, making yourself comfortable, because again, this is a very important move, whether we're snatching, overhead squat, or just shoulder endurance in general. Being able to be, the more stable you are, the less worn out you're going to be. So make sure you focus on it. Alright, so the other things you should be working on with the Open coming up, in case you haven't seen enough Open. There's high volume toes to bar and high volume double unders. I'm not saying work on the skill. Again, it's either you have the skill or you don't. Again, it's like me saying to work on muscle ups. You either have the skill or you don't. To me, toes to bar, chest to bar pull-ups, or double unders need to be trained at high volume. Like we will probably throw burpees in there. And not just normal burpees anymore, right? Because it's either bar facing burpee, burpees over the box, and for a lot of reps. And again, I'm saying a lot of reps, not just the skill. Why is that? Because there's a difference between doing a set of 10 and then a workout with 150. If you don't train your body to withstand that punishment, and you have to do 150 reps of burpees or 1,000 double unders, your body's response has a conditioning reaction. It doesn't mean that you're deconditioned. Your body's gonna have a sort of response. It's panicking because of a shock. So definitely training toes to bar, high volume double unders is huge. Okay. Another important thing you should probably work on is just high volume deadlifts. Now, I think doing high volume deadlifts ties into high volume snatches, ties into high volume cleans. But a lot of times it'll turn into your low back, your hip flexors that suffer during those movements. So I think having a high volume deadlift. And I believe it was 2 years ago, we had the deadlifts and the handstand push-ups. People could deadlift 315, but if you can't deadlift 315 after 45 reps of 225, 315, you just can't move it because your hip flexors are worn out. So we want to make sure we're training high volume hip flexor movements, meaning the deadlifts, the cleans, the snatches, just so we train that response. Now also tie to your dumbbell snatches, right? 150 reps of that. There's a difference between training the skill and doing 150 of them. Two different mentalities you want to have. Also, when you're training those big numbers, right? We want to get an idea of how our body responds. Now, we only have about a month, so you definitely want to take mental notes about what our body reacts to in certain numbers, like 20, 25, right? Because if we do a certain amount where we're caught resting too long, then we're just wasting time doing no work. So we want to minimize doing no work and do as much work as possible. Meaning if I have to get to 100 dumbbell snatches, can I go unbroken? Do I have to break that up? How should I break that up to be done in the best possible time? Okay, so don't forget to really assess yourself as you hit those strides. Now, I don't want to just say work on conditioning, because that's just a vague statement. I feel like when someone says you should work on conditioning, especially with the open, okay, we have not seen a max effort row yet, Dave Castro. But we do see a lot of rowing, a lot of burpee box jumps, where again, pace is key. Give you an example with the workout that had I believe it was 19 calories, 19 wall balls, right? I watched a lot of people do this workout where they jumped out in round one rowing at a 1,500 calorie an hour pace, but then in round two they were at 1,000, right? And that's very inefficient, and that means your body's reaching its peak early with about, I think that was a 15 or 14 minute workout to go. We want to learn to maintain effort. Meaning for me, I know when I see rounds of calories, I want to live around 1,300 calories, 1,400 if I'm feeling good. I know if I'm ranging at 15, 16, I'm putting out more power than I should be, whatever, to follow said next movement. Same with like a burpee box jump overs. A lot of the movements that have that cardio responses are where we want to create the idea. I want to do more work and less rest. The only way I know that is by making sure I understand my body's upper end. If I don't understand those things, the workout in the open will tear me apart. What else? We also want to be able to manage big weight under fatigue. Now, how I would program this, if you're telling me how I would do it, I wouldn't say if you have to, it's either you can clean a weight or can't snatch a weight. Meaning when Dave Castro rises weights from the board, have you ever snatched 225 before? If that's one of the weights at the bar, you've never done it, but you've done 215, 205, we may have an aha moment under fatigue, right? And it's very rare that happens during training. I've seen it countless times where people get into the open during that, or even competition, where they reach that fatigue point where they PR an Olympic lift. But during training, this just not happening. For some reason, we feel like crap. The body doesn't feel right. We try to simulate that same feeling. It just doesn't happen. So I always say if you're going to train that element, I would take about 75 to 80% of any lift, a jerk, a clean, a deadlift, and create a fatigue point into that lift for about, I would say 7 to 10 reps to see if you can manage your strength under fatigue. It's very important to do that, because again, just because you have the skill, things change under fatigue. And that's where you applying it to yourself comes into play. Okay? So I think that's all I have right now. That seems very relevant to the open. Make sure you're working on this thing. If you are not, again, I've been doing the open now for almost 8-9 years. I've been able to get up on the leaderboard every year after every year, work on the skills. Oh, and I almost forgot, thrusters. Guys, I'm going to tell you this, 95, 65, right, men or women, that number gets bigger and bigger every year. I think we just came off, what was it, 27, 21, 15, 9? And you do the math, I'm not sure what it is, that's the most thrusters I believe we've seen in a workout. So don't be surprised if that number grows. You need to train that volume of thruster, because that one definitely tears up a lot of people. And the shoulders in general with the triceps. Like I said, the volume is going to be key when it comes to the open. We all know that. Okay? You either have it or you don't. So if you like this information, okay, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Click like, click subscribe. A lot of content still coming your way. I'm going to keep giving it to you as long as my brain's still alive. You're going to get it. Thanks for watching.